Hey there, how you doing? This is a message for Brian, Nico, Dustin and Mike. So I'm Paul Popplewell, and I was in 15 Million Mirrors, Black Mirror. Brian, Nico, Dustin, Mike, it's Paul again. Listen, I just want to apologise. The sound quality on that video I did you was terrible. I was out hiking. I'm now in my little camper van thing. We shot 15 Million Merits a million years ago, but it was great fun. It was great to be a part of it, and it's been amazing to watch it kind of go stratospheric, and Netflix pick it up, and you know, all these Hollywood stars are directing and starring in it now. Not that the British cast were amazing, you know, absolute stellar, the creme de la creme of some of the top British artists, and me. But it was good fun. Good luck with the podcast, and keep up the good work, and don't go out there.
They've conquered the big screen. Now, get ready for the spin-off sure to send chills down your spine. It's Nico, Brian, Mike, and Dustin in Don't Go Out There, the series.
Welcome back, everybody, to DGOT, the series. We really appreciate y'all listening. We hope y'all have been enjoying these series reviews. I know we have. It's been a lot of fun. Just want to give a quick shout out to our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Everything about our podcast is on the website. All of our episodes and interviews, if you want to check those out. We've done some incredible interviews in the past. Go check them out there in a specific tab by themselves, so you don't have to scroll through hundreds of episodes on Apple or Spotify, etc. We also have our store if you want to grab a shirt, a mouse pad, a hat, all that good stuff. We'd love to see your pictures, you know, rep your favorite podcast. And Shan's Etsy page is also attached if you want to grab a tumbler. All of our social media links are on there as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Like us, subscribe us, follow us, all that good stuff. And the last thing I want to shout out on our website is our Patreon. We call it Blood Donors. We have the traditional monthly reoccurring kind. If you want to support us, help us pay the bills, as we say. Or if there's a movie you want us to review, that option is available as well. Just check out our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Also, if you haven't noticed, we've recently joined the Believe Network. So there's some ads on our program now. But if you want ad-free content, go check us out on Blood Donors. The ad-free episodes will be available there. We appreciate your support.
We want to thank you for tuning in. We are wrapping up Black Mirror. As Nico said on our last episode, after tonight, we're going to be taking a little bit of a hiatus from the series. We've got a lot on deck for the month of October and spooky season. So we'll be back in November with our next series. But here, we're going to talk about the last two episodes that Brian picked. That's season 6, episode 1, Joan is Awful, and season 3, episode 4, San Junipero.
Nice.
All right. You guys have any other thoughts before we jump into the finale? Let's get it. Season 3, episode 4, San Junipero. Get your Kleenexes ready, you might cry. The episode opens with a look at a town near a beach and a badass building with a massive Lost Boys poster on the side. Hell yeah. We see a woman named Yorkie walking down the sidewalk, and she stops to look at a TV in a window. She sees a couple go into a dance club and decides to check it out. 80s as fuck. It even has an arcade. Hell yeah. As she's playing a game, a guy tries to hit on her by asking her to play a racing game, but she declines the offer. The girl she followed inside, who's named Kelly, comes to sit by her and tells her to go with whatever she says. The guy she was with comes over, and they lie to get rid of him. They get friendly, and Kelly gets Yorkie a Jack and Coke, even though Yorkie was just drinking a plain Coke before. Kelly gives Yorkie a backhanded compliment about her outfit, and they toast their drinks. We find out it's Yorkie's first night in town. Kelly drags Yorkie to dance, despite her reluctance. And as they're dancing, we get a dramatic slow-motion look at Yorkie observing her surroundings before she dips from the club. Kelly finds her outside and apologizes for making her dance. Yorkie says everyone was looking at her because they were two girls dancing. But Kelly says it's a party town and no one was judging. Kelly asks what Yorkie would like to do and that she's never done. And when Yorkie says so many things, it's almost midnight now, and Kelly asks, why waste time sitting here? And Yorkie rubs Yorkie's inner thigh. Yorkie panics and says she has a fiance named Greg, but he's not here. So Kelly invites her to bed. Logical step. Yorkie says she can't and says her goodbyes. Before she goes, though, she stops and looks back, but Kelly is gone. What'd you guys think?
So like I said in my open, this one has just so much heart to me. And it wasn't just me. I mean, this won 2 Emmys for Outstanding Writing and Outstanding Television Movie. Owen Harris directed this one. He did season 2, episode 1, Be Right Back, and was back for Striking Vapors in season 5. None were as standout to me as this one was. And it sounds like I'm giving my summary right off the bat, and maybe I am, but I really do just love this episode. I love the Lost Boys poster in the opening shot. I think it maybe was just to kind of signify what time period we're opening in on here, but I did see where some people on the interwebs thought that it had a deeper meaning, where the vampires are also obsessed with the idea of immortality, like the overall idea of this episode. Maybe I'm wrong. Sorry, Brooker, if that's the case, but I mean, we get a Scream poster later, so what's the deeper meaning with that? I just think it was to say, hey, we're in 1987, but what do I know? I also am a big fan of Mackenzie Davis. I didn't see her in the latest outing. You guys did, but no matter how many things I see her in, Terminator, Dark Fate, she was so damn awesome in that one. Was also good to see, let me not butcher this, Gugu Mbatha Raw. She was in Cloverfield Paradox, which admittedly an awful movie, unlike the first 2, fantastic. But it was good to see her again. She is definitely the performance of the episode without question. Her and Mackenzie have such just great chemistry together. Great group of scenes. A lot of world building here. Some hints here, like the convo about the glasses, things like that, where they hint that things aren't real. But right now, I mean, I was definitely in a different headspace than what it ends up turning out to be.
Yeah, I love this episode right off rip. A Lost Boys poster, albeit I wasn't the biggest fan of the Lost Boys movie, but that poster, it just goes crazy. And Belinda Carlisle playing, hell yeah, brother. Like, I'm in it. And like I said in our Friday the 13th Part 3 review recently, the vibes of the 80s just look so fun. People living life, enjoying the moment. Not everyone sitting around on their phones that just, in my opinion, they're disconnected from what's actually going on. Mackenzie Davis, Dustin and I just talked about her in our Speak No Evil reaction. I wasn't familiar with her game at all until like a week ago, and now I've seen 2 things she's in, and she was great in both. I thought in this scene with Kelly, she looked very similar to Allison Williams, Rose from Get Out. I thought they looked very similar. Kelly orders 2 Jack and Cokes. They take a sip each and go dance. You can tell they aren't in a 2024 economy. Right now, you better drink both of them because they probably cost way too much. Complimenting Kelly's look here, she looks so 80s, would have fit right into that American Horror Story 1984 Jazzercise opening. She would have just fit in with that season. Like, she would have been great. There's an awkward chemistry between Yorkie and Kelly, and so far, it works. 2 polar opposites attracting. I like it. That's how life is. Mackenzie nails this awkward girl like a female Napoleon Dynamite, in my opinion. And I love the instant regret she shows as soon as she walks away. Like, that's real. Like, that's very relatable.
Yeah. All right. And that is an iconic Lost Boys poster. I have it hanging over my shoulder in the living room right there. Okay. You can't see that if you're listening.
Super cool poster.
It's there. A title card says 1 week later, and we see Yorkie trying on clothes and listening to a variety of killer 80s songs on cassette tapes. We see Kelly pulling up to the club in her Jeep, and the guy she was with earlier is waiting on her, and Kelly wants nothing to do with him. At the bar, another guy tries to hit on her when Yorkie walks in. Kelly sees Yorkie and immediately asks the guy to dance. Yorkie seems hurt and goes to sit alone and watches Kelly with her fella. They make eye contact, and Kelly goes to the potty as was expected. Yorkie followed her. Yorkie says she doesn't normally do this and asks Kelly to help make it easy for her. So Kelly asks Yorkie to go for a ride. They ride to Kelly's house, and Scissor Me Timbers it's on.
Oh, Jesus.
It was Yorkie's first time with a woman. Make that first time with anyone. Kelly says she has a fiance, but Yorkie says it's complicated. Yorkie asks when Kelly knew she was into women, and Kelly says she likes dudes too, and she always knew. She was married to a man before, and she loved him, but he left her, and she just wants to have a good time now. It's 11:59, and Kelly says, almost out of time. So Yorkie says, then let's just lie here. At midnight, the screen goes black. What'd you guys think?
I mean, Girlfriend in a Coma is playing when the scenes opens up. So upon further review, you can't get any more obvious than that, which Brooker and Harris made sure every single song played in this episode is somehow related to the plot. And on my second watch through, I noticed this one. And you're definitely like, really? So I don't know, it made me laugh. I was like, that is super obvious. But it was pretty cool to when Yorkie is choosing clothing at the start of this. She switches to the song "Don't You Forget About Me" from the Breakfast Club and changes into an outfit almost identical to the one Ali Sheedy wears. She even bites her lip just like Ali's character does in that movie. And man, I don't know, man, that just brings me back. Listen, nobody writes teenagers more accurately than John Hughes. And this world is too PC nowadays to ever have movies like his again. And that's just a fucking shame. Anyway, different time, a better time. I'm not sure also what age Yorkie is supposed to be here, but she was 31. Mackenzie Davis was 31, if I'm not mistaken, when she shot this. Maybe they say what age she's supposed to be in San Junipero. I know that she said she had gotten a wreck and was a vegetable when she was 21, but I don't know. I didn't catch it if so, but I think either way, they do a good job where you can't tell that Mackenzie Davis is supposed to be 17 or if she's supposed to be 25. Like, I think they do a good job makeup wise. Another just great group of scenes with more amazing chemistry between those two. Brooker actually said that this was originally written as a heterosexual couple, but he changed it. And I don't even think, it's not even about that to me. I mean, these two actors have that amazing it factor regardless.
Yep. All right, the song was playing during Yorkie's closed Get Ready With Me session. I thought it was immaculate vibes. I loved it. This whole 80s thing, I picked 84, American Horror Story. The vibes are just great. I love it. Wes, down abysmal. You got to have some pride, brother. You just begging a girl to come back like that. All right, man. You gotta go hit up my man Chris from the last episode. You got to walk away even when it hurts sometimes. Great club scene, and shout out to Yorkie getting her girl back. Love to see that. This bedroom right by the beach, it would be cool most of the time, but my anxiety would be through the roof if the weather got bad. That tornado we had back in May, I think I'm scarred for life when it comes to anything weather. And from working at the post office, I'm scared of dogs, so weather and dogs just scare the hell out of me these days. Not a lot for me to take notes on, and for the next scene, honestly, I'm so captivated with the story, I'm not writing much, just being honest.
All right. Well, the next two set of scenes I balanced horribly. These are much longer than the first two, but here we go. Another title card saying 1 week later, and we see Yorkie walking into a dance club again. She's looking around and asks the bartender about Kelly, but he hasn't seen her and says to check the quagmire. She walks up towards and into a rough-looking biker bar with some motley-looking characters littered about. She sees some fellas fighting in a chain-link cage and heads for the exit when Kelly's fella from the open says he knows her. She asks about Kelly, but she hasn't been there. He tells her to try another time. Here in the 80s, 90s, 2002 one time. 1 week later again. Kelly goes back to the dance club and then 1 week later again. Except now it's apparently 1996 as Alanis Morissette's Ironic is playing on a TV and the Lost Boys poster is now a Scream poster. She goes into the dance club and doesn't see Kelly, so she goes to Kelly's house. No luck. 1 week later, it's 2002, and Scream is now The Bourne Identity. Great movie. In the dance club, she sees Kelly playing DDR, and Kelly heads to the ladies' room. Yorkie asks why she's there, and Kelly says Kelly hid from her. Kelly says she didn't, and that she doesn't owe Yorkie anything. When Yorkie leaves the restroom emotionally, Kelly punches the mirror and heads out. She sees Yorkie sitting on the roof of a building and goes up and asks Yorkie if her pain slider is set to 0. Yorkie asks how many of them are dead, and Kelly says 80, 85. Kelly says she told herself she wouldn't like anyone, and Yorkie is an inconvenience, and she doesn't know how much time there is, and Yorkie puts an end to the small talk and kisses her. They're back at Kelly's, and Yorkie says she's getting married next week, even though her family doesn't approve. Yorkie asks Kelly what she meant when she said she didn't know how much time there is, and Kelly says, they say 3 months, but who knows? She's not going anywhere next. And when she's done, she's done. Yorkie says she's thankful for this place because without it, Kelly never would have liked her. Kelly's really in Carson City, Nevada, I don't know. And Yorkie is in Santa Rosa, California, but Yorkie doesn't want Kelly to see her. Kelly says she's dying, so whatever Yorkie really is can't scare her. She wants to visit, and Yorkie nods. Midnight strikes, and the next is the ending.
So the start of this is probably my favorite part of this entire thing. I mean, my favorite movies are time travel movies. So when Yorkie switches years, this is basically, and this is also where you find out, oh, okay, like, well, this is definitely a simulation, but also being able to switch between years and we get to see it, it's fucking awesome to me as a viewer. Like her going in 1996, seeing Atlantis on the TV, and then, like I mentioned in the open, that Scream movie poster. The only thing they should have had was them playing Mortal Kombat at the arcade, and I would have rated this a 10 just based on that. But then we get a quick jump to 2002, and I only know that because of the Born Identity poster you brought up on the way. And, I know I'm supposed to be paying attention to the heart rate with Yorkie. And, yeah, it's fantastic acting between those two. But, sorry, I got caught up. It's fucking amazing with this time travel. And it's just great set design, as always, as Nico says, with Black Mirror. Maria Labushkagne was the SA set director on this episode. Huge props to her. But yeah, like I mentioned before, all the Black Mirror episodes really hinge on this big twist. But we find out the twist here, halfway through this episode. So it doesn't hinge on that. I mean, it just fully revolves around this relationship and the heartstrings it manages to pull with that story. That's first, not the twist, not the action sequences, not the setting even. As a matter of fact, we're about to change all of that here with this next set of scenes. I'm not
Twist his dick.
I'm not doing it. Damn it, you did it. I'm not doing it.
Shout out to friend of the show, Eric, for catching that. I'm going to be honest with you, Dustin, I don't have much notes here. Brian, it's your fault. I don't have a lot of notes. This was a great episode. I wasn't even writing those down. I was just watching it. Not sure what's going on, honestly, in the opening set of this scenes, but I was thrilled to see a Scream poster. Iconic. 90s era Kelly is a bit of a bitch, but I'm going to withhold judgment too hard right now because I'm not sure what's going on. I got to admit, at this point, I paused the episode and read some of the Wikipedia to understand what's going on. And I got to admit, I was a little mind blown. This is a unique concept with a very deep subject matter. Not great review talk, but damn, these ladies are doing some fine acting, and this feels like real emotions between two real people. This episode is very relatable, and it feels very authentic.
All right, here's the finale. An elderly Kelly gets helped into a van, and when she arrives at the destination, a man says she's waiting for her. He leads her to a room and says she can't physically respond, but she can hear. Old woman Yorkie is laying in a hospital bed hooked up to a ventilator, and Kelly greets her and kisses her on the forehead. On the way out, a much younger male nurse says he's Greg, and that Yorkie is passing soon. Over a coffee, Greg tells Kelly how she became a quadriplegic. Car wreck when she was 21 after her parents got upset that she was a lesbian. Greg says he agreed to marry Yorkie because there's a lockdown on euthanasias, and since her family won't sign off on it, some family member has to, so he will. She begs Greg to hook them up to the system for a moment with Yorkie. He grants her 5 minutes. Back in San Junipero, Kelly asks Yorkie about passing over and asks Yorkie if she'll marry her instead. They kiss, and in the real world, they tie the knot. Yorkie is euthanized, and a single tear rolls down her face. Back in San Junipero, she pops a squat on the beach, and real Kelly goes home. She coughs viciously as she boots up her system and pulls up to meet Yorkie in San Junipero. Yorkie loves it there and wants Kelly to stay with her forever. Kelly says they're not discussing it, and Yorkie tries to use Kelly's husband choosing not to be there with her as a tactic to get her to stay. It backfired, though. Kelly slaps Yorkie and is incredibly emotional about the situation. The reason Kelly's husband couldn't do San Junipero is because their daughter isn't there. Kelly assures her that she only married Yorkie as a nice gesture, and she's out. As the clock heads towards midnight, Kelly floors it in her Jeep and crashes into a wall. She's ejected through the windshield, but gets up as if nothing happened. Yorkie is there to help her up, but it's midnight, and Kelly disappears back to reality. We see Kelly's health deteriorate, and her coughing intensifies as somber music plays, and she says she's ready for the rest of it. In San Junipero, Yorkie gets in a red convertible Miata and drives off to Heaven is a Place on Earth, and we see Kelly is euthanized. Yorkie pulls up to Kelly's house in San Junipero and honks the horn, and Kelly walks from around the corner to get in the car. We see a control room for San Junipero with a seemingly infinite amount of servers, while Yorkie and Kelly dance at the club, and the episode ends. My God, what'd you guys think?
Okay, so like I said, heading into the last set of scenes, we have now changed the entire setting of this show. And for the most part, the actresses with the older women and even with the changing all of that, all it does is make the story stronger. Like it almost reminds me of the way that the movie Fried Green Tomatoes does that too, if you've ever seen that.
It's a good movie.
But I love how all of this plays out. Like, I love how Kelly marries her so she can be permanent in that digital realm. I love how we find out who Greg is and why their relationship was complicated, like they said. But even Kelly's story and how deep it is. I mean, Gugu giving that speech about her husband and their daughter, like that brought a tear to my eye. It was so well delivered. And just how he couldn't do it because their daughter never got the chance to do it. A little fun fact, near the end when Yorkie is driving the convertible while Heaven is a Place on Earth is playing, like she is driving from the left-hand side of the car in all the close-ups, but is clearly on the right-hand side of the vehicle, which is the UK filming aspect, during the aerial long shot driving down the highway. In fact, Brooker heard the song Heaven is a Place on Earth while jogging when it came on a 1987 Spotify playlist. Spotify doesn't sponsor us, but you could Spotify. Like, he immediately knew it was perfect for the story and couldn't relax until they had cleared the rights to use it. Good job, Netflix. Good job.
Heck yeah. That song kicks ass.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it does.
That was the best part of that We Summon the Darkness movie. Anywho, I laughed out loud at Kelly saying, holy shit, seeing Greg. And, you know, I know this episode doesn't have, like, the big reveal or big twist, but I did get a good, like, oh, snap, Greg is just doing this to help her. I like that. I love the reveal Greg is marrying Yorkie to help her get into San Junipero. I thought it was great. Kelly's proposal was beautiful to see with Yorkie, and I'm just being honest, I got a bit emotional seeing the elder versions of themselves getting married, and I'm getting choked up seeing this and Yorkie's passing. That was tough as well. Yorkie and Kelly are very cute together. There's a cute word again, and I enjoy their chemistry on screen. I think Black Mirror, after doing these reviews, did a fantastic job casting-wise. I thought it was a really powerful scene as well with the 49-year scene interaction and finding out Kelly and Richard's daughter dying before this place existed. It was tough. This was a tough watch. This was some heavy stuff they were talking about. I feel like Ron Burgundy in a glass case of emotion. Driving off in a convertible. That's from Anchorman, by the way. Driving off in a convertible, beautiful weather, Belinda Carlisle blaring. These two reconnecting. I thought it was a great ending to our final episode of Black Mirror. I thought it was great.
Yeah. All right. You guys have any fun facts? Also, I have a fun fact. I would like a 1 hour episode released of just Brian saying the name Gugu Mbatha-Raw. I just want you saying that for an hour because that was funny every time. No disrespect for her. That's a hell of a name. I feel like, y'all ever seen that clip of the rapper Webby when he's on the Breakfast Club and he's trying to say Charlemagne the God? He calls him Charlemagne.
Charlemagne.
Anyway, Charlemagne. I'll send you the clip. It's hilarious. All right, I got a couple fun facts. Brian, did you say you have some?
Nope.
Okay. So the only two I have is while trying on outfits in front of the mirror, the song Addicted to Love by Robert Palmer is playing. And Yorkie's outfit and makeup is very similar to the girls in that video. And the last one I have is also music related. This is really cool. Might have to seek this out. This episode's soundtrack is somewhat unique in that it was ultimately released on all 4 listening platforms,
nice.
CD, digital, vinyl, and cassette.
Nice.
The latter two being an obvious nod to the main time period in which the episode is set. I ain't gonna lie, this would be a hell of a one. I'm a big vinyl record collector of albums that I think warrant buying a vinyl of.
Beatles?
I would buy that. God, Beatles can kiss my ass.
Owl City, Fireflies?
No, brother. No.
None of those.
No.
Huh? Okay.
No. I do have Halsey. I have Tyler Childers. I have Childish Gambino, Kanye. It's a very wide collection of music.
Like
I even have a Tom Jones vinyl. But anyway.
Kevin Gates, Luca Brasi 3?
No, I don't have. It's a good album, but it's not vinyl worthy. Come on. Anyway, we're off the rails here. I'll get us kicked off with my final thoughts and my rating. Another one that's not really horror, but man, what a great episode. It's my favorite that we've covered. The concept of an alternative to death and the afterlife where we can live whatever life we want. It's very interesting. And the themes of love, regret, and redemption are very powerful. We all just want to be loved forever. I shared with you guys something I don't talk about, but I'll say it on there. I'm vulnerable. My biggest fear in life, the only fear I really have is dying alone. So this one fucked with me. I gave it a 9.5.
Hey, I'm not trying to make light of that at all, but it just reminded me. Do you know in Star Trek V what Captain Kirk's biggest fear is?
No.
My biggest fear is that I'll die alone. Yeah.
Call me Captain Kirk. Are you laughing at my vulnerability, Nico? What the fuck?
No, I'm not. No, I'm fucking
kidding.
damaged too. All right, let me just go ahead and go. This was a great episode, Brian. This was right up there with one of my favorites. Rating wise, I kind of want to give it a 10, to be honest with you, but I don't think I like it as much as the Josh Hartnett one. It did get a bigger emotional reaction out of me. I'll give it a 9.5. It's right up there with one of my favorites. Great acting. I love the 80s settings in movies. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect episode to me. I mean, it did get a 10 in my book, and I know I gave a 10 in this set of episodes, but to me, this gets a 10 for being a different type of great to me, if that makes sense. I mean, this had the heart, this had the emotion. You know, the other one was just a really great episode. And I just wanted to say, Goo Goo Mabatara. So I said it. That's how you say it. Goo Goo Mabatara. All together. There we go. Now that we're done, I got it.
All right. That gives us a composite for this episode of a 9.66666667.
Oh, no, it's not.
That's a 9.
Internet Movie Database has it at an 8.5, which is way too low. And Brian, I'm going to need just a minute to get the composite for the overall.
Hey, appreciate all of our blood donors. We hope y'all have been liking the series. Like Dustin mentioned, I'll just reiterate it now. We're going to be taking a break off just for the month of October. We'll be back in November. You know, we got a lot, horror stuff for, the movie podcast. A lot of bonus shows, reactions, rankings, 5-year anniversary, all that good stuff. So we didn't want to overwhelm ourselves with the series as well. So taking a break from that. But we'll be back in November with that. And Dust, whenever you got that composite, go ahead, brother. Brian, you want to just do your Captain Kirk impression for like another 20, 30 seconds?
There's someone on the wing. Some thing.
I think I've got it.
Let's do it.
Our composite for these 10 episodes is a 7.1 or 7.491666667.
Okay.
Internet Movie Database for these episodes is an 8.25.
All right.
Nice.
Okay.
Someone check my math if you're listening and want to go back and do these composites, because my brain is scrambled right now. I don't know what it's saying.
Yeah, everybody who's listening right now, go re-listen to all our episodes again. But use a different podcast platform or the website so we get that extra download. Appreciate it.
Yeah. There you go. Rate us 5 stars if you haven't.
There you go. You see it. Business has Bula voice.
Business.
That was so much better than William Shatner. Oh.
Is the episode done? We appreciate it.
We're done. We're done.
All right, appreciate everyone listening. We'll be back in November. Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys.
Business.
Business.